Good morning and welcome to the meditation. Let us start by taking 3 deep breaths to arrive on our meditation cushion or on our chair. Every time we inhale, we try to refresh our attention, and every time we exhale, we relax. Let us take this half an hour to focus inwards, to focus on our minds, leaving our worries aside for half an hour. Let us look at our body posture for this session. Ideally, sitting on the floor in full lotus posture. That might be a little bit difficult, so make sure you're comfortable. You can sit cross-legged or half lotus posture, or even the Burmese posture with one leg in front of the other. And if you're not sitting on the floor, if you're sitting on a chair, this is also perfectly fine. Just make sure you're not leaning against the support of the chair and you're not leaning forward either. The most important is for the back to be straight, for the body to be upright. The hands are in the meditation posture, so you have your right hand on top of the left, 2 thumbs are slightly touching, and this mudra rests on your lap. The shoulders are even and relaxed, and even though your back is straight, you can easily turn from left to right. Your body remains flexible. The neck is aligned with the spine. You can slightly, very slightly tilt the head forward, not too much, just so that it is in the continuation with the spine. The neck is aligned with the spine. You can place your tongue just behind your upper teeth towards your upper palate. This helps to reduce the production of saliva during meditation. And finally, the last point for the posture is that the eyes, we don't have them completely closed, we leave them slightly opened, but we don't actually pay attention to what our eyes are seeing. It is the mental consciousness that meditates. This is called the 7-point Buddha Vairocana meditation posture. Out of these 7 points, the most important is for the body to be upright, for the back to be straight. So now that we looked at our body posture, let us look at our motivation for this session. Let us try to generate a Mahayana motivation, a motivation of bodhicitta, the mind of awakening, for this practice. So bodhicitta is the wish to become fully awakened, the wish to become a Buddha, in order to be able to guide sentient beings perfectly. Why do we want to guide sentient beings? Why do we want to help sentient beings? It's because we recognize that they are trapped in the vicious prison of their own mind. Since beginningless time, because of the power of karma and afflictions, sentient beings are continuously taking rebirth again and again in samsara, in cyclic existence, without any control. The root, the very root of this is the self-grasping ignorance, this misconception that we have that apprehending phenomena as existing truly, phenomena including the self, we have this feeling that everything exists from its own side, objectively, independently. Because of this self-grasping ignorance, we have the feeling, we have a sense of a very solid I, we have a very solid sense of truly existing self. And because of this, we have the inappropriate attention. We have the impression that we are the center of the universe. We have the impression that we are more important than others. Because of that, all the other afflictions arise, such as attachment, anger, jealousy, pride, anxiety, and so on and so forth. And because of these afflictions, we constantly engage in negative actions, in non-virtuous activities, such as killing, stealing, lying, and so on and so forth. Because of these, we are constantly accumulating negative karmas that will inevitably ripen in the form of suffering, in the form of unpleasant experiences. And because of the self-grasping ignorance, even the good actions we do, the virtuous actions we do, such as helping others, benefiting others, practicing generosity, and so forth, because of the self-grasping ignorance, even these positive karmas are contaminated, meaning that they will inevitably give rise, they will ripen in the form of pleasant experiences, what we call pleasure or worldly happiness, but within samsara, meaning we don't have control when they will ripen. We don't know in our day how it is going to unfold. Will we have pleasant, unpleasant experiences? At the time of death, we don't know where will we take rebirth. In a fortunate state, as a human again, will we take rebirth as an animal? We don't know, and we don't have control. So at present, we might not have a lot of suffering in our lives as humans. Perhaps our suffering and pleasure is quite balanced, but we can easily see around ourselves other human beings, how many of them are suffering from poverty, acute sicknesses, or living in countries at war. We can also see the animal realm. We can see the animals living in the wilderness. They are in a constant fear of being hunted by other animals, or even the animals that are raised as food for humans. For example, we can think of all the chickens that are raised for the KFC and so forth. Thousands of them living in very tiny places, waiting to be sent to the slaughterhouse. So we can try to generate a sense of compassion for ourselves being trapped in samsara, and for all sentient beings being trapped in samsara and constantly experiencing the results of the karmas they have accumulated in the past. So let us try to generate a sense of compassion, this wish for all sentient beings to be free from suffering and the causes of suffering. Not only that, let us generate a sense of responsibility. Let us try to generate the altruistic intention. Because I have this precious human rebirth at the moment, I am born as a human with all my mental, physical capacities. Not only that, I live in a world where the Buddha has appeared. The Buddha has turned the wheel of Dharma. He gives so many teachings for several decades. These teachings are still very much available today, especially in this digital era. So easy to listen to the Buddha's teachings. Just with one click, you can hear to the Dalai Lama, for example, the true living Buddha on this earth. Or we can download ebooks and so on and so forth. Not only that, there are many practitioners, there are many followers of the Buddha's teachings, many teachers, qualified teachers, and practitioners who can support us in our learning, in our practice. Not only that, there are many supporters of the Buddha's disciples. So with all these conditions, I have this precious human rebirth. Therefore, I have the incredible opportunity to work on my mind and to eliminate all my afflictions, to purify all my negative karmas. Therefore, I am responsible. I have to do that because others, countless sentient beings, don't have this fortune at the moment. Most of them are in unfortunate states, unfortunate realms, unfortunate rebirths, and most of the human beings even don't have this precious human rebirth. They have not met the teachings of the Buddha, or they are too caught up in worldly activities to look inwards and to transform their minds. Therefore, for them, who have been so kind to me in the past, I feel responsible. Try to give rise to this altruistic intention. I myself will free all sentient beings from suffering and the causes of suffering. But how can I do that? I myself am afflicted, I myself am trapped in samsara. So I have to become fully awakened. I have to reach the state of omniscience, the state of a Buddha, in order to guide sentient beings unmistakably. A Buddha has perfect love, perfect power, perfect wisdom, perfect knowledge, in order to guide beings unmistakably, knowing their past, present, and future, knowing their capacity, being able to emanate whatever is necessary to benefit them. So let us try to generate this most beautiful mind of bodhicitta by thinking, may I become a Buddha for the benefit of all sentient beings. And with this motivation in mind, we will engage in Shamatha practice this morning. Shamatha is Sanskrit for calm abiding, or Shinne in Tibetan. And more specifically, what we are going to do is single-pointed meditation. So for this, there are 4 instructions. We already looked at the first one, which is the body posture. Remember, the most important is for your body to be upright, for your back to be straight. The second instruction is that we need an object of meditation. So if you're familiar with Shamatha meditation, especially single-pointed meditation, I would recommend that you keep the same object in your different sessions. So you can use this morning the object that you're the most familiar with for meditation. And if you don't have an object you're familiar with, what I would suggest is to take the breathing sensation at the entrance of the nostrils. Place all your focus there at the entrance of the nostrils, and more specifically on the feeling, the breathing sensation at the entrance of the nostrils. The third instruction is to identify the 2 main ways we get distracted during meditation. The first one is called mental excitement. Basically, we are distracted with thoughts, mostly thinking about past, future, or thinking about the wonderful food that we will have at lunch, or our plans this afternoon, or a discussion that we had last night, and so on and so forth. The second way we get distracted is called mental laxity, or mental dullness, or lethargy. Basically, we don't put enough application in our meditation, and the mind starts to sink. We kind of fall asleep, and therefore we also lose our object of meditation. So finally, the last instruction is that there are 2 antidotes that we need to use to counteract these 2, mental excitement and mental laxity. So the 2 antidotes are introspection and mindfulness. Introspection, also called alertness, is a small part of the mind. It is a mental factor that throughout the meditation is checking. Am I meditating? Am I concentrated on my object of meditation? And as soon as I notice that I got distracted with thoughts or with letter G, I make use of the second antidote, which is called mindfulness. And the role of mindfulness is to remember the object of meditation, so it brings the mind back in focus, making sure it stays on the object of meditation. It is a little bit like if you have a pet dog at home and the dog runs away. Introspection notices that the dog is gone, and mindfulness brings the dog back home, and you can also imagine tying him against the pillar so that the dog stays at home. So this is what we are trying to do with our attention, with our meditation. So we will try this for about 10 minutes, trying to remain focused on our object of meditation, trying to develop stability in our concentration and clarity. Stability in the sense that we remain on the object, and clarity in the sense that the object appears very clearly to the mind, not blurry. Okay, let us try for 10 minutes. gently come out of the meditation. So when we begin with meditation, it is advised by the masters to keep our sessions short. For example, today we did 10 minutes. It is advised to do sessions of 5, 10 minutes, 15, or maximum 24 minutes in the beginning, and do more sessions. If possible, at least one session a day of 5 to 24 minutes maximum, but you can also do several sessions a day. And there are two reasons for that. It is better to do more short meditations than a few big sessions. For example, if you meditate 3 hours, one session of 3 hours once a week, it will have much less impact than 5 minutes every day. The reason is that if we do a long session and as beginners, the mind gets distracted, and if we don't put enough application in using the antidotes of introspection and mindfulness, then we keep staying in our habit of being distracted and not using the antidotes, that it becomes more and more difficult to change that habit. But if we, for 5 minutes, we really make the effort to use the antidotes, and gradually we are training in using them more and more. The second reason is that if we meditate for, let's say, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours in a row, at the end of the session, we might feel exhausted. And the next time we see our meditation cushion, we might feel sick. We don't want to sit and meditate. On the other hand, if after 5 minutes, 10 minutes of meditation, you feel that you want to meditate more, this is very good, because you will again sit for another session the next day. All right. And the reason we are training in Shamatha, the reason we are trying to develop our concentration, is because it is essential. If we want to realize bodhicitta, to generate a spontaneous bodhicitta, uncontrived bodhicitta, as well as to purify our minds, we need to meditate on the wisdom realizing emptiness, the wisdom that realizes that phenomena and the self don't exist inherently, don't exist objectively. Without concentration, we cannot do these things. So concentration is fundamental. Actually, without concentration, when we try to do analytical meditation, we are mostly doing contemplation, not meditation as such. For meditation, it is on the basis of calm abiding. It is on the basis of a good concentration that is stable and clear. So this is why we are training. Let us take a moment to dedicate the merits that we have accumulated by meditating on bodhicitta and on calm abiding, so that we may soon, very soon, fully develop our mental factors of introspection and mindfulness and achieve stable concentration, so that we may soon, very soon, realize bodhicitta, the awakening mind, as well as the wisdom realizing emptiness, in order to become fully awakened Buddhas for the benefit of all sentient beings. Due to all our merits, may our spiritual teachers, especially His Holiness the Dalai Lama, have very long and healthy lives, and may they continue to teach us the Buddha Dharma for a very long time. Due to all our merits, may the wars that are happening around the world immediately come to an end. May there be no new wars, may there be no famine, may there be no epidemic, and no natural catastrophes, disasters of the elements. May peace and happiness prevail in everyone's hearts and lives. Thank you very much for joining us this morning. And our next sessions at Tushita tomorrow, we have in person at 2 p.m. The practice of chanting the names of Manjushri for the Swift Return of Lama Zopa Rinpoche. This is the practice that has been advised by His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And on Sunday at 11 a.m., we have both in person and online on the same Zoom a discussion with Lokesh Jindal on faith against reason. Then Monday is Holi, so we won't hold any program on Monday. I wish you all a happy Holi, and may your life be filled with colors and joy. And then on Tuesday, we have a session at Tushita, and the highlight actually of next week is next Saturday. We have two sessions with Venerable Geshe Dorji Dandul, who is the director of Tibet House in Delhi. So he's coming at Tushita to teach on the practice of wisdom for cleansing the mind. And this will be from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. And then the second session from 2:30 p.m. until 4 p.m. So this is both in person and online, in person at Tushita Delhi. So you're most welcome to join for that. We will post more details on our WhatsApp announcements group soon. Have a very nice day, a nice weekend, and a happy Holi. Bye-bye.